Hello and welcome to another episode of Game on Onesies. I'm Slash Raptor, and this is the House MD game. In the last episode, we started up with our case about the frat boy whose arms became paralyzed when he was in a coffin for a hazing ritual, and now House is in the clinic, and for some reason he wears a white coat in the clinic. Everyone that watches House knows that he doesn't wear the white coat. That was one of his things. He says they itch, Like, they actually made a point of pointing that out in the first episode of the entire show. You should put on a white coat like the rest of us. I don't want people to think I'm a doctor. Yeah, you can see where the administration would have a problem with that. People don't want a sick doctor. That makes sense. I don't like healthy patients. Anyway, I get these really, really bad headaches. I take Excedrin, Tylenol, Advil. Nothing seems to help. I can't even sleep at night. Have you tried watching one of your own boxing matches? That always puts me to sleep. I've tried everything. I'm in so much pain. What do you think's causing it? Could be from back when you were fighting Clubber Lang. That's never a good idea. Dr. House, this is serious. I'm having vision problems. Well, let me get in the ring with you and we'll see what's going on. Examine the patient carefully and look for any signs of illness. Select an area to examine, blah, blah, blah. See, the only part that's silly about these clinic patients is that usually in the episode on TV, the purpose of the clinic episodes is that House usually ends up finding an epiphany about the main case while he's working with someone in the actual, he's working in the clinic. So, doing it in here is just a random thing to make it seem like an actual episode of House, because the things that you discover about these clinic patients have nothing to do with the overall case. Alright, let's try touching his knee. Delayed reflexes. Oh, it's not going to ask me to talk to him? Okay. Let's go over here then, and we'll, check this. He's kind of skinny for a boxer. That frat boy's got bigger muscles than him. How can I tell that he's nauseous just by listening to his stomach? Alright, let's listen to his lungs. And up here. Oh wow, he's got something green in his teeth. There's two things that are green in his teeth. Big giant shiner over here. And, okay, so let's look at that shiner right there. Oop, apparently it decided not to work. An occupational question would help. Wins, I don't know. When was the last time you won a fight? I mean, against an opponent, not a T-bone steak. See? That's not how House would talk. He's not even funny. I won a fight just last week. Oh, that is what I was supposed to talk about. Didn't learn anything from that, but okay. Touch. A migraine. How about the frequency of your migraines? How many times a week do you train? Oh. So it's not the frequency of his migraines. I mean, training for your boxing career, not training for the lead role in Captain Caveman the movie, which you're a shoo-in for. I train 4 to 5 times a week. And you've got something in your teeth here, too. Oh, that's why. His teeth are turning green because he's been vomiting. Headaches. How bad are the headaches? Are they awful, like Rocky 4? Or are they just vaguely annoying, like Rocky 2? I thought Rocky 2 was one of the better ones. I've only seen the first one, mind you, but I thought, Rocky 2 was supposed to be, the ultimate sequel. Rocky 3 was okay, and then Rocky 4 was dumb, Rocky 5 was dumb, Rocky 6 was good, and Apollo Creed was also supposed to be good. Again, I've only seen the first one, but headaches are like a freight train running through my skull. Well, is it a normal-sized freight train, or is it a freight train the size, small enough that it fits in your skull? Because if it's a bigger one, then that makes a lot more sense. What am I doing here? Oh. Looking in your eye. Select the right topic to task about. I don't know, how about your eyes? Do you ever have vision problems before? Or was that haircut your idea? No, my vision was always perfect. Didn't even need glasses. I didn't ask if you needed glasses. So, Dr. House, what do you think? Matthew, how long have you been in the ring? About 25 years, give or take? 25 years. And you don't think that maybe this has something to do with that? Well, I guess deep down I did, but I didn't want to believe it. You've been in the ring too long. That's a fact. Your body's in pain, and it's pissed off at you for putting it through the ringer. That's another fact. I think you've earned yourself some drug abuse. That's the most fun fact of all. Here's a prescription for some painkillers. Painkillers? Get used to them. Won't these turn me into an addict? Don't be silly. Now before you go, what's your prediction for the fight? Pain. Hey, Matthew, next time can you say, "I pity the fool"? That was funny. Wow, Trevor actually keeps this place looking pretty good. It's a breath of fresh air compared to that frat house. What's that sticking out under the bed? One way to find out. The 10 clues in Trevor's house, okay. The T-square. Yes, I'm sure his shoes have something to do with his arm paralysis. Oh yes, and this camcorder, because he was not in his room at any point when his symptoms erupted, so definitely that's going to be useful for our investigation. Like, what? This backpack could have something in it, that makes sense. Nail polish remover, I guess that could also do something. Oh, a laptop. Cool. Weights, I guess. A juice drink. And what's under here? Oh, I found the lockbox? Okay. An aerosol can. Water pills. What the hell are water pills? Wonder what's in the lockbox. We'll never know until we find the key, which Trevor seems to have hidden pretty well. Speaking of clues, we know very little about this kid, so let's get to know him better. Round up everything else. The diet stuff, the makeup, any of that is potential toxin. I also want to see this. You'll probably just want to check Trevor's laptop to see what porn he likes. But okay. Hello? Anybody there? Oh, that's right. So, basically, in the first mission of this game, Cuddy orders something online, and then House is obsessed to figuring out what it is, and by the final episode, she ends up revealing that it was a guitar that she bought for him to give to him as a surprise birthday present. And so throughout the different episodes, there's scenes, like behind the scenes things that are just trying to sound like an actual episode, but are really lame and not really what an actual episode would be. Especially something that would have carried out throughout 5 whole cases. If Cuddy bought a guitar on the TV show, within that same episode, House would have figured out, or she would have been forced to reveal to House that it was supposed to be a present. And these things only make sense if you play them from start to finish, which I'm not going to do for the sake of this, because not every mission was all that interesting. So I'm telling you the results of this now so that it doesn't screw you up later. This is the 3rd mission out of 5. Hello, muggers who want to rob me. I'm crippled and therefore easy pickings. And apparently you don't exist. Oh yeah, this is when Cuddy thinks that House took the guitar. Where the hell did you put it, you bastard? Alright, if I was House, where would I have stashed the guitar? See anything you like? I love the look on his face here. That actually is a House face. Sometimes they get these caricatures really well done, and other times it looks like they didn't really put that much time in it, so they don't really look that well. It looks more like a cartoon you'd see on Teletoon. They really could have done more with the graphics here. Like, this had to have come out in, 2010, because it's got... It has to be Season 6, because there's no Kuttner, and, well, maybe it's late Season 5, so maybe 2009, but still, the graphics could be better. No, because... No, I don't know, I guess it's supposed to be taking place during Season 5 sometime, but Kuttner was there, and then during Season 6, it was just... Then Chase rejoined the team. I don't know, it's weird. Good God, that frat house was like Lord of the Flies. Only more disturbing. We found wood glue at the Delta House, and we found nail polish remover and hairspray in Trevor's dorm room. The wood glue I understand, but why does he have nail polish remover and hairspray? His girlfriend left him in his dorm? Maybe. Maybe it's in another part of the initiation ceremony. Maybe his roommate is a tranny. Maybe Trevor's a tranny. Maybe he's a cosmetic salesman in his spare time. Or maybe he just takes exquisite care of his hair and nails. Anything's possible. At any rate, all three of these items could have caused hexacarbon neuropathy. Have Chase and Cameron do a vitamin B12 test to check for it. So what are you going to do to me? We're doing a blood test to check for a vitamin B12 levels in your blood. If you have low levels, that may indicate hexacarbon neuropathy. Well, I eat lots of chicken. Chicken has vitamin B12, so problem solved. Can I go now? Just sit back, Trevor. This will only take a minute. I'm a master at drawing blood. This one's pretty easy. But one of the weird things about these mini-games is that sometimes they give you an arrow, and sometimes you're expected to pull on the arrow, but other times the arrow just represents the direction you need to push or pull something. Sometimes in order to do that, you have to pull on the arrow, and other times you have to actually do it on the item itself. Here, I'll show you. I know how to do this already. This is my third blood test. It's the same procedure. See here. In this one, if you pull on the arrow, nothing happens. But if you pull it this way, it tightens. So now you palpate the upper forearm by clicking around, make sure the vein is nice and big. Then you use the alcohol swab to cleanse the area, blah blah blah. Okay, area is cleansed. Then you carefully place the butterfly needle on the vein. See, now you have to insert the needle by clicking on it and sliding it in the direction of the arrow. Oh, okay, so this time it's also the arrow. Now remove the tourniquet to allow blood flow. But see here, no, okay, maybe this is a bad example, but there are times when it gets all mixed up. See now, here it says pick up an empty vial and insert it into the end of the butterfly needle tube. So you do this, you put it here, and now every time that it's filling up, he says the same thing. Pick up an empty vial and insert it into the butterfly needle, blah blah blah. Allow the vial to fill completely, then remove the filled vial by clicking on it. Pick up an empty vial, allow the vial to fill. Like, seriously, dude, shut the hell up. After the first 2 times, you should know how to do it. And I'm not just talking about the 2 blood vials in this test. I'm talking about the 2 times that you've done the blood tests in the other cases. Here, so now you remove the butterfly needle, again, by putting it actually on the thing, and then you put the bandage here. Here, this time you have to do it on the actual arrow. You can't do it on the actual bandage itself. Enough blood has been drawn for testing. Wow, either I'm really brave or that was incredibly minor. It was incredibly minor. Also, your arms are numb because of the paralysis. Ow. But you're also really brave and have high B12 levels, so it looks like you aren't at risk for hexacarbon neuropathy. What are you doing? Juice fast shots. You want one? Nah, I had a big lunch. I've got the results of the B12 test. Trevor tested negative for neuropathy. Well, I would say that's too bad, but it makes the case more interesting, so who am I to complain? The juice fast and the water pills indicate that Trevor's been extreme dieting. Speaking of which, this juice fast really makes you have to pee like a racehorse. Our patient has a high level of potassium in his urine. That's right. So, that, plus the water pills, plus the carb-heavy meal of pizza and beer he treated himself to just before the attack, all points to hypokalemic periodic paralysis. Comes from decreased potassium. Either that, or it's just fun to talk about pee. Foreman, you just won yourself the right to perform an IGTT on our patient. You got it. But not just yet. First, I want to see if I can get him to cop to the fact that he's a fad-dieting nutjob who actually drinks this swill. Although, in his defense, you can really taste the prunes. What's that? I figured we could spike the punch bowl with it at the big dance tonight, but that stuffy old dean would probably catch us and put us on academic double probation, right? What you got there, Bluto? You're majoring in Jetsons? I myself double majored in Yogi Bear and Jabberjaw. What? What the? First of all, who holds... Oh, I guess because he's paralyzed, he has to hold it that way. And he's left-handed, so that's interesting. I'm studying architecture. Well, put your big manly T-square away, because I have a few questions. Select the right topic to ask about. But what is the right topic? Diet? Exercise or weight? They could all be traced back to why he'd be taking that juice. Right. Why are you on a diet? Trying to maintain your girlish figure? What do you mean? I'm not on a diet. Try a follow-up question. The juice? I don't know. If you're not on a diet, why do you have jugs of juice fast in your dorm room? Oh, that. That belongs to my girlfriend, Emily. She's obsessed with her weight. Focus on the original topic. Okay, so then the pills? Like the water pills? And how do you explain the water pills? Only a dieter would need those. Or Aquaman. The pills are also Emily's. Focus on... Try a follow-up question. Emily. So all the hairspray and nail polish remover we found in your dorm room, that's also hers? Well, yeah, it belongs to Emily. Who else would it belong to? Me? Perhaps a change of subject. Lingerie! Why were you wearing women's lingerie when you were in the coffin? And you get extra points if your answer is hilarious. What else was I supposed to do, dude? It was part of the initiation. Press the subject a little further. Initiation. Why did they make you wear lingerie in the coffin during initiation? Was your frat founded by gay vampires? It's supposed to make us feel vulnerable for when we reveal all of our innermost secrets to our fat brothers. Frat brothers, not fat brothers. There are no secrets among brothers. Tell that to Sam and Dean Winchester. Thank you for your patience, Trevor. No problem, Dr. House. Do you need anything else? Just one thing. If I give you a picture of a doctor named Lisa Cuddy, do you think you could do a really humiliating nude portrait of her? I don't know if that's a good idea. Sure it is. Just make sure to have a circus clown spanking her, and give her a really nice rack. You feeling okay? Yeah, I guess. Just really dizzy, nauseous. Must be because I'm so hungry. Sorry, it's necessary for you to fast several hours before this test. Well, you can make it up to me by telling me why I haven't eaten at all today. It looks like hypokalemic periodic HPP might be responsible for your symptoms, so we have to do an intravenous glucose tolerance test to check for it. And that means we have to give you a blood test, and then we have to give you a glucose IV, then we do another blood test to measure your blood sugar. See, we have to do another blood test, but it's still going to teach us how to do it, as if we haven't just done this. Music in this game is also very bad, and it's repetitive. It's like this is the go-to minigame thing. Anytime that you're interviewing someone, anytime you're checking for anything, you're doing any kind of procedure, you listen to this music. They should at least have different music for each individual one. And they definitely should have had voice acting. Now it's time for your glucose IV. And you know what this feels like? What? One of those baggies they put inside girls' fake boobs. You mean silicone? Yep, silicone. Medicate the patient. Press the indicated buttons as they reach each of the manifold to medicate the patient. Or you can use your keyboard. This is a dumb minigame because it's too easy. The first time, it's only ever just 2 colors. This minigame here has the quality of a Newgrounds Flash game, and I've seen some really good Flash games. This is not one of them. What's the frame rate in this game right now? 2? Like I can actually see it as it teleports along. Oops! I can actually see it as it teleports along the different spots. It doesn't look like it's moving down the pipes. It looks like it's just appearing and then disappearing periodically throughout this thing. What's this supposed to be the challenge here? See, why does this happen? Let's try an additional medication. So you have to stop, take your hands off of the keyboard buttons, and then put your hand on the mouse, click, and then go right back to it. Don't ever try and do this with the buttons on the screen. Those are really unresponsive. The keyboard works a lot better. Also, it's just easier because you can have your fingers on more than one key at the same time. Whereas if you try and do it the other way, where you have to use the mouse and click on each individual one, then you have to move it to each one as it goes. And there are some times where it wants to have like two colors almost at the exact same time, so it makes it kind of tricky. So now they're not gonna throw any punches. Now they're gonna use all four colors, and it's still super easy because unlike Guitar Hero, they're all coming one at a time, so it's not challenging at all. The only time I made that one mistake earlier just because it's still not very responsive. Sometimes, most of the time it works really well, but for sometimes it just, there, see? Sometimes it's hard to know because it goes so slowly. That last red one there, I pushed it too early. Impressive. You're not showing off, are you? So how did I get 4 penalties but 97 points? Wouldn't I have 96 if I got 4 penalties? Like what? Where are my penalties coming from? How is that affecting my score? Shouldn't I just have a regular A if I only got 3 wrong? Or that would actually still be an A+, wouldn't it? Like an A+ is anywhere from like 100 to 90 or something? No, that's just the whole A range. I don't know, they don't use the A things in Canada. We have actual percentages. Well, did I take that IV like a man or what? Sure. So what's the verdict? Do you still need to stick me with more needles? Almost done, Trevor. Just one more blood test. And with all these needles, I'm starting to feel like a voodoo doll. I know how to draw blood, Foreman. We just did this. Shut the hell up. Oops. Shouldn't more blood be filling out from when I remove this? Or is that the way the butterfly needle is designed to work? So that more blood won't leak out while you're reaching for another vial? Enough blood has been drawn for testing. So I have hypokalemic paralysis? Looks like it. The test Dr. Foreman administered shows there's an abnormal amount of glucose in your blood. Hey, Broham, what's with the John Cleese silly walk? You still upset? Walk? Upset? I don't know what you mean. Yes, you do. Cheer up. Now that we know what you have, we can treat it. After all this nonsense, you should be smiling. I am smiling. And that's all the time I have for this episode of Game On Onesies. Thank you for joining me, and I hope to see you right back here in the very near future where we will continue to play more House MB and finish off this case. And we haven't seen the last of the clinic patient either, and now it seems like there's more symptoms coming up. So, stay tuned for the next episode, and until next time, peace out, and as always, game on. See ya!